Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Guinea Titan, and this is more of a channel and a news episode than a tank video episode, although I'll be showing tank video in the background. So initially, one of the things that I want to announce or let people know is that tomorrow, that is May 21st, a technician is coming to my house to start installing optical fibre cable to the house. The fibre has been sitting at the end of the road for the last year, but they haven't actually made it live, but it's now gone live in the area, finally. And there was some issues relating to my house, so I'm going to give you an advance warning that essentially a guy's coming. He's going to install optical fibre to the house, and this may interrupt my internet access. I have no idea whether it will or not, or whether there'll be any complications. I mean, but just given the fact that with my luck and history, so I would say complications are always a possibility. So I'm going to give you a heads up, if I don't appear with a video on, I'll probably have a video already up for Tuesday, so that'll probably go live. I'll probably be able to access that over a mobile and set it up to go live, but I may not have a video Wednesday, Thursday, or whenever until the job is completed. I don't know. If that is the case, I'll leave a message on Facebook or Twitter, and I'll sort of let people know when I'm back on. So the links to that are in the video description below this. I'm hoping that a fibre broadband will increase my flexibility. I'm hoping it'll improve my productivity a little bit as well. I'll be able to do longer videos and experiment a little bit more with formats, and maybe probably experiment a bit with streaming and a few other things like that. But I'll play with it a little bit first on my own, and then I'll probably get back to you with a complete video where I'll kind of discuss what I want to do about this sort of thing and what my plans are and stuff like that. One of the areas that I hope to improve a little bit is keeping up with the news and keeping up with doing video episodes, sort of keep you informed of the latest happenings in World of Tanks, so I can read the news and you don't have to, sort of thing. Update 4.10 is coming along shortly, and there's a few other things like that. That sometimes I haven't been able to make videos of these because the fact that I sort of have to do videos, cue them in advance, and sometimes long in advance in order to get them up and to get them up on time. So with the new higher speed upload, I should be a bit more flexible in that area and more able to respond to stuff that is happening. So without further ado, let's look at the latest news from World of Tanks. Essentially, there are three new pieces of news. There's update 4.10. Not a huge update, although it has some interesting things. Commander mode, for those that are interested, and the Spring Games Alpha or Bravo new ops. So basically you got 3 new ops, dishing out more damage. With learning 50 points, the experienced tanker regains 50,000 XP, gets 50 points. And Call the Shots, which is probably the easiest of the 3, detect 10 vehicles in any number of winning battles, and assist with 5,000 or more damage due to spot vehicles in battles, any number of battles, and that'll get you 50 points. So that's 150 points between the 3 of them, and that should take somebody over the line. It'd be very helpful anyway, taking people over the line in Spring Games Bravo. So the next thing up would be the Commander mode. Now, I'm not a particularly fan of the Commander mode. They've tweaked around the Commander mode a good bit. I've not played it, so I couldn't tell you whether the tweaks are any good or bad, and they've set it in a new map in Berlin. Of more interest probably in general is the whole update 4.10. So one of the big changes they brought in is when you get into the Armour Inspector mode in the Tank Garage, you can now see the exact values of the armour that you're looking at, because they'll have marked out in the ranges, in the colour ranges for the various armour ranges, what the exact values are. They're also changing the frequency based on the survey. They did a survey a couple of weeks ago where you were asked for your opinion on which maps would you prefer to see and which maps you didn't want to see. So they've now changed the frequency, the expected frequency of maps based on that. Since all the variants counted as a separate map, it's a bit all over the place in terms of results, which is probably no bad thing. The only one that I'm going to see more of that I probably wouldn't like is Pacific Island in my specific case. There's been some buffs to guns. As far as I can see, all buffs, no nerfs. And new camouflage patterns for tanks for some of the minor nations. Now they have changed spawn points and or capture flag locations in various maps on the assault mode and encounter mode. Mostly the tweaks seem to be to assault mode maps. I think there's Sand Rivers in encounter mode, but their spawn point changes, not the actual encounter point or capture point. I think the only one where they've changed the capture location. Well, they've changed the capture location on a couple of the assault ones as well. And the team destruction one on Scorpion Pass. The Scorpion Pass one actually could be quite interesting. It might discourage people from continuously going up into the ridge lines there on the east and south of the map. Among the bug fixes, the most notable one is that they've changed the hull lock issue that was occurring with tank destroyers, where you could set the hull lock but the game was kind of ignoring it and the guns were always starting off hull locked, which is annoying as hell because it ruins your camouflage if you forget about it. Not a huge set of changes. I think the armor value stuff would be really valuable. Some of the map changes are potentially interesting, but I don't know if they're... Well, I think the Malinovka... is it Malinovka? Yes, the Malinovka change is actually probably the most radical. They've moved... I don't remember the cap circle ever being on that side of the map. And I'm not sure if it's under the guns of the cliff from there. I have a feeling it's not completely. But it looks like going around the southern side of Malinovka is probably not that useful anymore. Be very interesting to see how that one plays out, actually. And the Scorpion Pass team destruction mode might actually be more interesting as well. Other than that, I don't think there's anything really radical. It's some useful tweaks and things like that. I think the armor viewer particularly would be welcome. It's can be a pain in the ass to go on the packages or look up the Tankopedia, which actually had better information and a better presentation of the information than the in-game any of the in-game modes right now for armor values and various other things like that in your tank. What I really love to see though is an armor angle, real-time armor model viewer, so that you'd actually see what the effective armor thickness is as you change the angle of your tank. That would be quite useful because it would give people an idea how to angle their armor better without having to go to third-party viewers, and most of the third-party viewers are set up for World of Tanks PC, which at this stage there's enough drift between World of Tanks PC and World of Tanks console that you can't utilize the information in World of Tanks PC to the same extent as you could. When I started playing the game, you could go to things like Tanks GG and stuff like that, and you'd see the live armor viewers, and you'd get a very good idea of how the differences between the different angles were in the armor, and you could say that the values between World of Tanks console and World of Tanks PC at the time were minuscule. But World of Tanks console, as far as I know, is not supported by most of these services, and at this stage the armor differences between World of Tanks PC and World of Tanks console is quite substantial. We've been following a completely different pattern of nerfs and buffs and changes and weak spots and various other things like that. In other news, there's an article or a thread on the forum linking to an article from IGN where Microsoft and Sony are announcing a partnership, a strategic partnership, whatever that means. It looks like initially anyway that Sony are going to start Microsoft services, Azure and Azure technology and stuff like that for running some of their stuff, some of their services. But whether this will extend to cross-platform or extended cross-platform play in Xboxes and PCs, or Xboxes and PlayStations, is mentioned and remains to be seen, so to speak. I would hope so, but it would be nice, because I think it would benefit World of Tanks considerably. Just to have the increased player base, if you had the Xbox and PlayStation on a common set of servers, it would reduce expense for wargaming. Now, they did say, I think somebody recently on a thread, to the effect that 20% of Microsoft Xbox players are actually still on the 360, or is it 20% of the total game population? I can't remember, which is quite a lot. So that will limit some of our developments. There'll be none of the extra bushes and cover that you get in the PC version of the game, or none of the larger maps, which is a bit of a pity. However, that's it. I have no further news. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all again soon. Bye for now.